Hello students, this is Dr. Chetna Kumawat. In today's lecture, we will understand the preparation of funds flow statement. When there is no information other than the balance sheet at the beginning and end of the year, first of all, figures of share capital, debentures, reserves, and surplus and long-term liabilities, etc., given on the liability side of the two balance sheet should be compared. If there is increase in these items, it would be shown as source of funds, and in case of decrease or reduction in it would be shown as uses of funds. For example, if the amount of debentures in the opening and closing balance sheets appear at rupees 2 lakh and rupees 2,50,000 respectively, then in absence of any other information, it would be presented that debentures of rupees 50,000 have been issued for cash during the year. Likewise, the increase or decrease in the value of fixed assets, intangible assets like goodwill, patents, etc., shown in the asset sides of two balance sheets should be ascertained. The increase in these items should be shown as uses of funds and decrease as sources of funds. When the amount of intangible and fictitious assets written off like goodwill, preliminary expenses, discount on issue of shares, underwriting commissions, etc., shown in the current year's balance sheet are less than the figures given in the previous year's balance sheet, it is presumed that the deficiency is written off in the P&L account. In this way, after recording all the items of sources and uses of funds in the funds flow statement, the difference must be equal to the increase or decrease in the net working capital as shown in the schedule of working capital changes. When additional information are given, a funds flow statement prepared on the basis of only two balance sheet does not provide more information. For example, on comparing the value of a machine appearing in the opening and closing balance sheet at rupees 20,000 and 25,000 respectively, it is to be concluded that an additional machine of rupees 5,000 had been purchased during the year. But it may be that a machine might have been sold for rupees 10,000. Similarly, the profit disclosed by P&L account may not be the real profit from business operation, as it may include non-fund items like depreciation or gain or loss on sale of fixed assets. Therefore, if such additional information is provided in addition to these two balance sheets, it is essential to incorporate them while preparing funds flow statement. But it should be kept in view that such additional information have no effects on the schedule of working capital changes. Hence, it is not necessary to consider such additional information while preparing this schedule. In case balance sheets for two dates, P&L account for the year, and some additional information are provided, the following steps should be taken to prepare funds flow statement. First step. First of all, prepare a schedule of working capital changes from the current assets and current liabilities shown in the respective balance sheets. This will result in either an increase or decrease in net working capital. Second step. For all other non-current assets and non-current liabilities, open respective accounts taking their opening and closing balances. Third step. Journalize the adjustments one by one using double entry system and post them in respective ledger accounts. Fourth step. Close the accounts one by one, which will result either as an item of source of funds or an item of use or application of funds, or close the remaining accounts by transferring to adjusted P&L account. The balance of adjusted P&L account will be profit or loss from operations that is to be shown in funds flow statement. In the end, the balance of funds flow statement will be equal to the increase or decrease in net working capital as shown in the schedule of working capital changes. Purchase or sale of fixed assets. The amount of source or use of funds from purchase or sale of fixed assets can be ascertained by opening an account for the concerned asset as it appears in the ledger. The opening balance of the asset is posted in the debit side and closing balance in the credit side of the asset account. Then, the additional information is journalized by double entry system and the entry is posted in the concerned asset account. Now, the balancing figure of the asset account may be either purchase or sale. If balance falls short in the debit side, it represents purchase of the asset. On the contrary, if the balance falls short in the credit side, it is sale of the asset. This amount of purchase or sale of the asset will be shown in the funds flow statement as use or source of funds, as the case may be. Fixed assets appear in balance sheet at cost. The fixed assets are shown in the balance sheet at cost and the amount of accumulated depreciation is shown separately in provision for depreciation or accumulated depreciation account in the balance sheet. In such case, it is better to prepare separate accounts for fixed assets and accumulated depreciation or provision for depreciation. Depreciation for the year can be ascertained from provision for depreciation account. Sometimes the fixed assets are shown at written down value after deducting depreciation in the balance sheet and the balance of accumulated depreciation is given in additional information provided. In such case, the opening and closing balance in the respective fixed assets account will be the total amount of book value shown in the balance sheet plus balance of accumulated depreciation provided in additional information. If depreciation is source of fund. Depreciation is the depletion in the value of an asset due to wear and tear, obsolescence, and effusion of time. As per accounting principles, a sufficient amount of depreciation should be charged against the revenue of the firm by debiting the profit and loss account. As a result, the profit of the firm stands reduced. But providing depreciation does not involve any fund, because it is neither an expense or payment in cash, nor does it result in creation of any current liabilities. Therefore, the amount of depreciation already charged to arrive at net profits should be added back to these profits to find out the funds from operations. The fact that depreciation should be added back to the net profit does not mean that depreciation is a source of funds. Otherwise, all firm would have provided higher amount of depreciation to create funds. The depreciation is added back to prove as it is a non-cash item and does not affect the funds of the firm. However, depreciation can be taken as a source of fund in limited sense because of the following reasons. Number 1. Depreciation is treated as an expense for the computation of taxable income that results in reduction of the taxable income. Therefore, income tax liability for the period is reduced. Thus, amount equal to tax saved may be presumed as source of funds. Number 2. Depreciation does not generate funds, but it definitely saves funds. For example, if the management had taken the fixed assets on hire, it had to pay rent for them. Since it owns fixed assets, it saves on the flow of funds which would have otherwise gone out in the form of rent. Hence, this saving may be treated as source of funds. Number 3 and last one. Stock is valued at cost, which includes depreciation on fixed assets. Thus, depreciation becomes a part of current assets. Purchase or sale of investments. In a business concern, investments may be treated as current assets or as fixed assets. Investment in marketable securities or government securities representing temporary investments or short-term investments are treated as current assets. Any change in the figures of such investments between the two balance sheets dates is automatically adjusted through the schedule of changes in working capital. Hence, any loss or gain on the sale of such investment, that is marketable securities, does not require any adjustment in the profits for calculating funds from operations. Investments in shares or debentures of other companies or subsidiary companies, that is long-term or trade investments, are treated as fixed assets. Any sale of such investment is a source of funds while a purchase represents use of funds. The proper way to analyze these transactions is to prepare an investment account exactly in the same manner as suggested for the fixed assets. Any gain or loss on the sale of such investments must be deducted from or added, as the case may be, to the net profits, since it is a non-cash item. Increase or decrease in share capital and long-term liabilities. Between the two balance sheet dates, increase in share capital or long-term liabilities during the year arising on account of fresh issue of shares or debentures results in a source of funds. The redemption of preference shares or buyback of equity shares or debentures is an application or use of funds, as it reduces the value of these instruments. These transactions are analyzed by preparing share capital account or debenture account exactly in the same manner as suggested for fixed assets. If these shares or debentures are issued at premium, the amount of premium is also treated as source of funds. But if shares or debentures are issued to finance the purchase of assets or conversion, that is debentures into shares, there is neither any source nor any use of funds. Further, the issue of bonus shares or stock dividend is also not a source nor use of funds. In all these cases, the accounts being affected in a transaction are all non-current accounts. Hence, there is no changes in working capital. If these are issued at premium, the amount of premium is also shown as source of funds in the share or debentures capital. Provision for taxation. In ratio analysis, we have assumed provision for taxation as current liabilities, since it is classified in the balance sheet as current liability, but there is difference of opinion in the treatment of provision for taxation in funds flow statement. The following are the two treatments. A. As a current liability. Sometimes provision for taxation is treated as current liabilities. Accordingly, it is shown in the statement of changes in working capital, and any tax paid by the firm during the year is ignored. That is not shown in the funds flow statement as an application of funds. Similarly, the amount provided for tax will not be added back to the net profit for ascertaining funds from operations. Though this method is frequently adopted, yet it is not supported by AS3. B. As an appropriation of profits. Sometimes the provision for taxation is preferred to be treated as an appropriation of profits for the purpose of funds flow statement. It does not mean in any way that treatment will affect the classification of provision for taxation as a current liability in accounting. The AS3 also requires that tax paid during the year, being a material information, should be disclosed in the funds flow statement. Therefore, in this approach, provision for taxation is treated as an appropriation of profits in this case. It will not appear in the statement of changes in working capital, and the amount of tax paid will be shown as an application or use of funds in the funds flow statement. The amount of provision for taxation charged from the profit and loss account during the year is added back to net profit for the year while calculating funds from operations. Proposed dividend. Proposed dividend, which includes interim dividend prior to the approval of the annual financial statements in the annual general meeting, represents only an appropriation of profits. When it is approved by the shareholders in the AGM, it becomes a current liability for the company. Hence, according to the circumstances in each case, proposed dividend can be treated either as a current liability or as an appropriation of profit. As a current liability, proposed dividend will be shown in the statement of changes in working capital along with other current liabilities. Any payment of dividend made for the previous year will not be shown as use or application of funds in the funds flow statement. As an appropriation of profits, proposed dividend will not be shown in the schedule of changes in working capital, but the dividend paid during the year is shown as an application of fund in the funds flow statement. Further, the amount of proposed dividend for the current year shall be added back to the net profit for ascertaining funds from operations. If the amount of dividend paid during the year is not given in the supplementary information, the amount of proposed dividend for the previous year may be presumed as dividend paid during the year. Provision for current assets. Sometimes the firm might have created some provisions against current assets to protect from probable losses. Two of these provisions are provisions for bad and doubtful debts and provision for discount on debtors. These provisions are usually shown in the balance sheet by deducting from the amount of debtors. The treatment of these provisions in the funds flow statement is made either by one of the following method. A. The provision at the beginning of the year may be deducted from the debtors in the beginning, and similarly, the provision at the end may be deducted from the debtors at the end. Thus, net balance of debtors is shown in the schedule of changes in working capital. These are not recorded in funds flow statement and no adjustment is made for these items in the net profit for the year if it is given after deducting these provisions. B. The opening and closing debtors may be taken at gross value, and these provisions are shown separately as a current liability in the schedule of working capital changes. In such case, the increase or decrease in both the debtors and provisions will affect the increase or decrease in working capital. The net effect, however, would be the same as noted in A above. Absence of profit and loss accounts balance. Sometimes complete balance of the P&L account is transferred to general reserve account, and in case of a sole trader or partnership firm, to capital account, or there is no information about it. The balance sheet contains only the balance of reserves and surplus or capital account. In such case, the profit from operation is calculated by adjusting all non-fund items in the general reserve account or reserves and surplus account or capital account like adjusted P&L account. Over and under valuation of stock. Sometimes the closing stock of the previous year is overvalued or undervalued by the firm by mistake. This mistake is rectified in the current year by bringing the stock at its actual cost. In such cases, while preparing the funds flow statement, the current asset of the previous are increased by the amount of undervaluation in schedule of working capital changes, and the balance of P&L account of the previous year by the same amount. In case of overvaluation, the process is reversed. Purchase of assets of other business. When a firm purchases a running business or another firm, it requires current assets as well as fixed assets for a consideration to be discharged in shares. In such a case, while preparing a funds flow statement, the difference between the net assets acquired and purchase consideration is treated as goodwill or capital reserve on the case may be. Moreover, out of the shares issued, the amount only equal to current assets acquired is treated as source of funds from shares issued. So this is it for today's lecture. Thank you so much for your patience and listening.